time will be loving grace.
Oh, I could hide neath the wing of the bluebird as she sings. The 6 o'clock alarm would never ring, but it rings and I rise, wipe the sleep out of my eyes.
Hello, everyone. Margaret He here, Theater Programs Director. I'm happy to welcome you to the Student Arts Workshop number 2. We are so excited to have you all here. The inspiration behind the Student Arts Workshop was to give students a space and an opportunity to generate their own artistic work, their own artistic vision with the support of the faculty. And during these challenging times, it has been incredibly wonderful to see the students come together and collaborate and find joy through the creation of art. So this evening, you will see 2 different performances. The first will be a dance performance by Sophia Wu to music by the artist Ten, with original art by Connie Hu and Fiona Zhang. Following this will be a performance of A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare, directed by our senior Anya Hilpert. The cast and crew of this production range in grade from 7th through 12th grade, so it's been a really incredible collaboration on that front. I wanted to give a special thanks to my partner in theater, Mr. Miller, for supporting me and supporting the students throughout this process and making all their artistic dreams come to life. And also the head of our visual arts department, Rachel McIntyre, for her feedback in providing supplies. So this evening, the whole show should run about an hour and 45 minutes. And I just want to review a few housekeeping details. As you all know, Zoom is a new performance format, and we have found that it is best viewed on a computer. Sometimes you see things slightly differently if you're viewing on a different device like an iPad or a phone. So if you want to switch, you are welcome to do that. We encourage everyone to make sure that their Zoom is up to date. So you can do this by opening the Zoom app on your device. You click the profile image, scroll down, check for updates. And if you want to update your Zoom, you will actually need to leave the meeting, but you are always able to rejoin this meeting at any point during the evening by re-clicking the link that you received when you made your reservation. And of course, we ask for your patience should any technical issues arise. We are still learning, and we've had a few hiccups along the way. Fingers crossed everything goes smoothly, but should anything occur, we will pause the performance and make an announcement and update you. Following the production, there will be a short talk back, and as presenting on Zoom is new, it will be really helpful to receive your feedback, and also the actors and performers don't actually hear any of your reactions, so this is the one time that they get to interact with the audience, and it's so meaningful for them. So if you're interested and willing to stick around after the show for the Q&A, they would love that. And the way we do the Q&A is you can either write your question in the chat box, or you can raise your virtual hand and I will give you the ability to talk and the actors can hear your voice. So without further ado, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
I don't wanna come down from your love. We'll get lost together, let me fall. Don't ever let me come down from your love. From your love. From your love. I'm saying up. I don't wanna come down from your love. We'll get lost together, let me fall. Don't ever let me come down from your love. From your love. From your love.
Now, fair Hippolyta, our nuptial hour draws on apace, for happy days bring in another moon. But oh, methinks how slow this old moon wanes.
4 days will quickly steep themselves in night. 4 nights will quickly dream away the time. And then the moon, like a silver bow, new bent in heaven, shall behold the night of our solemnities.
Go, Philostrate, stir up the Berkeley youth to merriments, awake the pert and nimble spirit of mirth. Hippolyta, I wooed thee with my sword, and won thy love doing these injuries, but I will wed thee in another key, with pomp, with triumph, and with reveling.
Happy to thee, Theseus, our renowned Duke.
Thanks, good Aegeus, what's the news with thee?
In full vexation come I with a complaint against my child, my daughter Hermia. Stand forth, Demetrius, my noble lord. This man hath my consent to marry her. Stand forth, Lysander, and my gracious Duke. This man has bewitched the bosom of my child. Thou Lysander, thou hast given her rhymes and in charge love tokens with my child. Thou hast by moonlight at her window sung with fang voice verses of fang love and stolen the impression of her fantasy. With bracelets of thy hair, rings, God's consents, knacks, trifles, newsgays, sweetmeats, messengers of the strong pavilion and underharmed youth. With cunning thou hast flinched my daughter's heart, turned her obedient, which is due to me. To stubborn harshness, my gracious Duke, be it so she will hear before you grace and consent to marry with Demetrius. I beg over the ancient pavilion of Berkeley that she is mine, and I will dispose of her, which will either be to this man or to her death, according to our law, immediately provoked in that case.
What say you, Hermia? Be advised, fair maid, to you your father should be as a god. Demetrius is a worthy gentleman.
So is Lysander.
In herself she is, but In this kind, wanting your father's voice, the other must be held the worthier.
I would my father looked but with my eyes.
Rather, your eyes must with his judgment look. Rather, your eyes must with his judgment look.
So will I grow, so live, so die, my lord, ere I will yield my virgin patent up unto his lordship, whose unwist yoke my soul consents not give sovereignty.
Relent, sweet Hermia, and Lysander, yield thy crazed title to my certain right.
Have her father's love, Demetrius. Let me have Hermia's. Do you marry him?
Scornful Lysander, true he hath my love, but what is my love shall render him? She is mine, and all my right defer, and I do estate into Demetrius.
I am, my lord, as well derived as he, as well possessed. My love is more than his. My fortunes every way is fairly ranked, if not with vantage Demetrius's, and more than all these boasts can be, I am beloved of beauteous Hermia. Why should not I then prosecute my right? Demetrius, all avouched to his head, made love to Neater's daughter, Helena, and won her soul. And she, sweet lady, dotes, devoutly dotes, upon this spotted and inconstant man.
I must confess that I have heard so much, but you, fair Hermia, look you arm yourself to fit the fancies of your father's will, or else the law of Athens yields you up, which by no means may we extenuate, to death or to a vow of single life. Come, Hippolyta, what cheer, my love? Demetrius and Aegeus go along. I must employ you in some business against our nuptial and confer with you of something nearly that concerns yourselves. Oh,
With duty and desire we follow.
How now, my love? Why is your cheek so pale? How chance the roses there do fade so fast?
Belike for want of rain, which I could well beteem from the tempest to my eyes.
Ay me, for aught that I could ever read, could ever heal by tale or history, the course of true love never did run smooth, be it either different in blood,
O cross! Too high to be enthralled, too low.
or else misgraffed in respective years,
O spite! Too old to be engaged, too young.
or else it stood upon the choice of friends.
O hell! To choose love by another's eyes.
Or, if there were sympathy in choice, war, death, or sickness did lay siege to it, making it momentary as a sound, swift as a shadow, short as any dream, brief like the lightning collied in the night, that in a spleen unfolds heaven and earth. That ere there were a man hath the power to say, behold, the jaws of darkness do devour it up, and quick, bright things come to confusion.
If then true lovers have ever been crossed, it stands as an edict in destiny. Then let us teach our trial patience, because it is a customary cross. As due to love as thoughts and dreams and sighs, wishes and tears, poor fancy's followers.
A great persuasion. Therefore, hear me, gentle Hermia. I have a widowed aunt, a dowager, and she hath no child. From Berkeley is her house removed 7 leagues, and she respects me as her only child. There, gentle Hermia, may I marry thee? And to that place the sharp Berkeley law cannot pursue us. If thou lovest me, steal forth thy father's house tomorrow night, and in the wood a league without the town, where I did meet with thee and Helena, to do observance to a morn of May. There will I stay for thee.
My good Lysander, I swear to thee, by Cupid's strongest bow, by his best arrow with the golden tip, by the simplicity of Venus's doves, and by that fire which burned the Carthage queen, before false Trojan sail was ever seen, in all the promises men ever broke, in number more than woman ever spoke, in that same place thou hast appointed me, tomorrow truly I will meet with thee.
Keep promise, love. Look, here comes Helena.
Godspeed, fair Helena. Whither away?
Call you me fair? That fair again unsay. Demetrius loves your fair. Oh, happy fair! Your eyes are lobsters, and your tongue sweet air, more tunable than lark to shepherd's ear, when wheat is green, when hawthorn buds appear. Cygnus is catching over favor, so yours I would catch, fair Hermia, ere I go. My ear should catch your voice, my eye your eye, my tongue should catch your tongue's sweet melody. Were the world mine, Demetrius being baited, the rest I'd give to you to be translated. Oh, teach me how you look, and with what art you sway the motion of Demetrius's heart.
I frown upon him, yet he loves me still.
Oh, that your frowns could teach my smile such skill.
I give him curses, he gives me love.
Oh, that my prayers could such affection move.
The more I hate, the more he follows me.
And the more I love, the more he hateth me.
His folly, Helena, is no fault of mine.
None but your beauty were that fault were mine.
Take comfort, he shall no longer see my face. Lysander and myself shall fly this place. Before the time I did Lysander see, seemed Berkeley as a paradise to me. Oh, now in what graces does my love dwell, for he hath turned a heaven unto a hell.
Helena, to you our minds we will unfold. Tomorrow night, when Phoebe doth behold her silver visage in the watery glass, decking liquid pearl on bladed grass, at a time that lovers' flights doth still conceal, from Athens, from Berkeley's gates have we devised to steal.
And in that wood where often you and I upon faint primrose beds were wont to lie, emptying our bosoms of their counsel sweet, there my Lysander and myself shall meet. And thence from Berkeley turn away our eyes to seek new friends and stranger companies. Farewell, playfellow, pray thou for us, and good luck grant thee, Demetrius. Lysander, keep word. We must starve our sight from lovers' food till morrow deep midnight.
I will, my Hermia. Helena, adieu. As you on him, Demetrius stowed on you.
How happy some or other some can be. Through Athens I am thought as fair as she, but what of that? Demetrius thinks not so. He will not know what all but he do know. And as he ears doting on Hermia's eyes, so I admiring of his qualities. Things base and vile, holding no quantity. Love can transpose to form and to dignity. Love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind, and therefore is winged Cupid painted blind. Nor hath love's mind of any judgment taste, wings and no eyes figure unheedy haste. And therefore is love thought to be a child, because in choice he is so oft beguiled. As waggish boys in games themselves forswear, so the boy love is perjured everywhere. For ere Demetrius looked on Hermia's eye, he hailed down oaths to me that he was only mine. But when these vows some heat from Hermia felt, so he dissolved, and showers of oaths did melt. I will go tell him of fair Hermia's flight, Then to the wood will he tomorrow night pursue her. And for this intelligence, if I have thanks, it is a dear expense. But herein mean I to enrich my pain, to have his sight thither and back again.
Oh, great, you're here.
Hey, Flute, how you doing, man? What's up?
Not,
Hey, Flute.
we're not friends.
Hey,
Oh,
Snug, how you guys
Darling,
doing?
man, it's been a while to
Hey,
do
Snug.
something with your hair.
Then let's see
You
Peter
can
Quince
say
up on
something. Oh,
Hey. Is all our company here?
yeah.
Here is the scroll of every man's name thought fit throughout Berkeley to perform in our interlude before the Duke and the Duchess on his wedding day at night.
First, Peter Quinn, say what the play treats on, then read the names of the actors, and so grow to a point.
Mary, our play is the most lamentable comedy and most cruel death of Pyramus and Thisbe.
A very good piece of work, I assure you. And Mary, now good Peter Quinns, call forth your actors by the scrolls. Masters, spread yourselves.
Answer as I call you. Nick Bottom the Weaver.
Ready, name what part I am for and proceed.
You, Nick Bottom, are set down for Pyramus, a lover who kills himself most gallant for love.
Thou last some tears in the true performing of it. If I do it, let the audience look to their eyes. I'll move storms and I will condole in some measure.
Francis Flute, the bellows mender.
Ah, here, Peter Quince.
Flute, you must take Thisbe on you.
What is Thisbe, a wandering knight?
It is the lady that Pyramus must love.
Ah, nay, Faith, let me not play a woman. I have a beard coming.
And I may hide my face. Let me play Thisbe too. I'll speak in a monstrous little voice. Thisbe, Thisbe, Pyramus, lover dear, thy Thisbe dear, lady dear.
No, no, you must play Pyramus and Flute, you Thisbe. Tom Scout the Ticket.
Here, Peter Quince.
You will play Thisbe's mother. Robin Starveling the tailor.
Here, Peter Quince.
You, Pyramus' father. Myself, Thisbe's father. Snug the joiner, you the lion's part. And I hope here is a play fitted.
Have you the lion's part written? Pray you, if it be given me, for I am slow of study.
You may do it extempore, for it is nothing but roaring.
Let me play the lion too. I'll roar that'll do any man's heart good to hear me, and I'll roar that I'll make the Duke say, let him roar again, let him roar again.
And you should roar too terribly, that you would fright the Duchess and the ladies that they would shriek, and that were enough to hang us all. You can play no part but Pyramus, for Pyramus is a sweet-faced man, a proper man, as one should see on a summer's day, a most lovely, gentlemanlike man. Therefore, you must needs play Pyramus.
Well, I'll undertake it.
Masters, here are your parts, and I am to request you, desire you, and entreat you to con them by tomorrow night, and meet me in the palace wood a mile without the town. There we will rehearse, for if we rehearse in the city, we shall be dogged with company and our devices known. In the meantime, I will draw up a bill of properties such as our play wants. I pray you, fail me not.
Dun-dun-dun! How now, spirit? Whither wander thou?
Over hill, over dale, through brush, through briar, over park, over pale, through flood, through fire. I do wander everywhere, swifter than the moon's sphere. And I serve thy fairy queen, to do her orbs upon the green. The cowslips tall her pensioners be, in their gold-coated spots you see. Those be rubies, fairy favors, in their freckles live their savors. I must go seek some dewdrops here, hang a pearl in every cowslip's ear. Farewell, thou love of spirits, I'll be gone. Our queen and all her elves come here anon.
The king doth keep his revels here tonight. Take heed the queen come not within his sight. For Oberon is passing fell and wrath, because the queen as her attendant hath a lovely boy stolen from a faraway king. She never had so sweet a changeling, and jealous Oberon would have the child. Night of his train to trace the forest wild, but she perforce withholds the loved boy, crowns him with flowers and makes him all her joy. And now they never meet, in grove or in green, by fountain clear or spangled starlight sheen. But they do square, and all their elves, for fear, creep into acorn cups and hide them there.
Either I mistake your shape in making quite, or else you are that shrewd and knavish sprite called Robin Goodfellow. Are not you he?
Thou speakest aright. I am that merry wanderer of the night. I jest to Oberon and make him smile when a fat and fiend-fed horse I beguile. But room, fairy, here comes Oberon.
And here my mistress, would that he were gone.
Ill met by moonlight, proud Titania.
What, jealous Oberon?
Tarry, rash, wanton. Am I not thy lord?
Then I must be thy lady.
Why should Titania cross her Oberon? I do but beg a little changeling boy to be my henchman.
Set your heart at rest. The fairyland buys not the child of me. His mother was a votress of my order, but she, being mortal, of that boy did die. And for her sake, I do rear up her boy, and for her sake, I do not part with him.
Give me that boy!
Not for thy fairy kingdom! Fairy, away! We shall chide downright no longer stay.
Will go thy way, thou shalt not from this grove till I torment thee for this injury. My gentle Puck, come hither. Fetch me that flower, the herb I showed thee once. The juice of it on sleeping eyelids laid will make any man or woman madly dote upon the next live creature that it sees. Yes, fetch me this flower, and be thou here again ere the Leviathan can swim a league.
I'll put the girdle round the earth in 40 minutes.
Having once this juice, I'll watch Titania when she is asleep, and drop the liquor of it in her eyes. The next thing then she waking looks upon, be it on lion, bear, or wolf, or bull, on meddling monkey, or on busy ape, she shall pursue with the soul of love. And ere I take this charm from off her sight, as I can take it with another herb, I'll make her render up her page to me. But who comes here? I am invisible. I will overhear their conference.
I love thee not, therefore pursue me not. Where is Lysander and fair Hermia? The one I'll stay, the other stay with me. Thou toldest me there is stolen unto this wood, and here am I, wood within this wood, because I cannot meet my Hermia. Hence get thee gone, and follow me no more. Do I entice you? Do I speak you fair? Or rather do I not in plainest truth tell you that I do not nor I cannot love you?
And for that do I love you the more. I am your spaniel, and Demetrius, the more you beat me, I will fawn on you. Use me but as your spaniel, spurn me, strike me, neglect me, lose me, only give me leave, unworthy as I am to follow you. What worser place can I beg in your love, and yet a place of high regard with me, than to be used as you use your dog?
Tempt not too much the hatred of my spirit, for I am sick when I do look on thee.
And I am sick when I look not on you.
You do impeach your modesty too much, to leave the city and throw yourself into the hands of one that loves you not, to trust the opportunity of the night and the ill counsel of a desert place with the rich worth of your virginity.
Your virtue is my privilege. For that it is not night when I do see your face, therefore I think I am not in the night. Therefore, nor doth this world lack worlds of company, for you in all my respect are all the world. Then how can it be said that I am alone, when all the world is here to look on me?
I'll run from thee and hide me in the brakes and leave thee to the mercy of the wild beasts. Or if thou follow me, do not believe that I shall do thee mischief in the woods.
I will follow thee and make a heaven of hell, to die upon the hands I love so well.
Fare thee well, nymph. Ere he do leave this grove, thou shalt fly him, and he shall seek thy love. Hast thou the flower there? I pray thee, give it me. I know a bank where the wild thyme blows, where oxlips and the nodding violet grows. There sleeps Titania some time of the night, lulled in these flowers with dances and delight. And there the snake throws her enameled skin weed wide enough to wrap a fairy in. And with the juice of this, I'll streak her eyes and make her full of hateful fantasies. Take thou some of it and seek through this grove. A sweet Berkeley lady is in love with a disdainful youth. Anoint his eyes, but do it for the next thing he espies may be the lady. Thou shalt know the man by the Berkeley fret boy garments he hath on.
Come, now a roundwell and a fairy song. Sing me now asleep, and let me rest.
Spotted snakes with double tongue, thorny hedgehogs be not seen, roots and blind worms do no wrong. Come not near our fairy queen. Fill them out with melody, singing our sweet lullaby. Never harm nor spell nor charm la 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 bye. Never harm nor spell nor charm. Come, our lovely lady night. So good night with lullaby, lullaby, lullaby. Weaving spiders come not here. Hence, you long-legged spinners, hence. Beetles black approach not near. Worm nor snail do no offense. Fill them out with melody, singing our sweet lullaby. Never harm nor spell nor charm. La 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 bye. Never harm nor spell nor charm. Come, my lovely lady night. So good night with lullaby, lullaby. Hence away, now all is well. One aloof stands sentinel.
What thou seest when thou dost wake, do it for thy true love take. Love and languish for his sake. Be it ounce or cat or bear, pard or boar with bristled hair, in thy eye that shall appear. When thou wakest, it is thy dear. Wake when some vile thing is near.
Dear love, you faint with wandering in the wood. And to speak troth, I have forgot our way. We'll rest us, Hermia, if you think it good, and tarry for the comfort of the day.
Be it so, Lysander. Find you out of bed, for I upon this bank will rest my head.
One turf shall serve as pillow for us both. One mind, one heart, two bosoms, and one troth.
Nay, good Lysander, for my sake, my dear, lie further off yet. Do not lie so near.
Take the sense sweet of my innocence. Love takes meaning in love's conference. I mean that my heart unto yours is knit, so that one heart we can make of it, two bosoms interchained in an oath, so then two bosoms and a single troth. Then by your side, no bedroom me deny. In lying so, Hermia, I do not lie.
Lysander riddles me very prettily. Now, much beshrew my patience and my pride, if Hermia meant to say, Lysander lied. But, gentle friend, for love and courtesy, lie further off in human modesty. Such distance, as may well be said, creates a virtuous bachelor and a maid. So far be distant, and good night, sweet friend. Thy love ne'er alter till thy sweet life end.
Amen, amen, to that fair prayer say I. Then end life when I end loyalty. Here's my bed. Sleep give thee all his rest.
But have that wish, the wisher's eyes be pressed.
Through the forest have I gone, but Athenian found I none, on whose eyes I might approve this flower's force and stirring love. Night in silence, who is here? Weeds of Athens he doth wear. This is he, my master said. Despise the Athenian maid, and hear the maiden sleeping sound on the dank and dirty ground. Pretty soul, she durst not lie near this lacklove, this kill cursed sigh. Churl, upon thy eyes I throw all the power the strong doth owe. When thou wakest, let love forbid sleep his seat on thy lid. So now, awake when I am gone, for I must now to Oberon.
Stay, though thou kill me, sweet Demetrius.
I charge thee hence, and do not harm me thus.
Wilt thou leave me? Do not so.
Stay, on thy apparel I alone will go.
I am out of breath in this fond chase. The more my prayer, the lesser is my grace. Happy is Hermia, wheresoe'er she lies, for she hath blessed and attractive eyes. What wicked and dissembling glass of mine made me compare with Hermia's spry eye? But who's here? Lysander, on the ground. Lysander, if you live, good sir, wake.
And run through fire I will for thy sweet sake. Transparent Helena, nature shows art that through thy bosom makes me see thy heart. Where's Demetrius? Oh, how fit a word is that vile name to perish on my sword.
Do not say so, Lysander, say not so. What though he love your Hermia, what though? She still loves you, then be content.
Content with Hermia? No, I do repent the tedious minutes I with her have spent. Not Hermia, but Helena I love, who will not change a raven for a dove.
Wheresoe'er was I to this keen mockery born? When at your hands did I deserve this scorn? Good truth, you do me wrong, good sooth, you do, in such disdainful manner me to woo. But fare you well, perforce I must confess, I thought you a lord of more true gentleness. Oh, that a lady of one man refused should of another therefore be abused.
She sees not Hermia. Hermia, sleep thou there, and never mayst thou come Lysander near. For as a surfeit of the sweetest things, the deepest of loathings to the stomach brings. Or as the heresies that men do leave are hated most by those they did deceive. So thou, my surfeit and my heresy, of all be hated but the most of me, and address all my powers, your love and might, to honor Helen and to be her knight.
Help me, Lysander, help me! Do thy best to pluck this crawling serpent from my breast! Me, for pity. What a dream was here. Lysander? What? Removed? Lysander, Lord. What? Gone? Out of hearing? No sound, no word? Speak, if you hear. Speak of our loves! I swoon almost with fear. No? And I perceive you are not nigh. Either death or you I will find immediately.
Hey, Snug. Hi.
I remember this.
Hey, Snug. Hey, Snug. How you guys doing?
Hey, good. Nervous.
Yeah.
Are we all met?
Pat, Pat. And here's a marvelous convenient place for our rehearsal.
You know, there are things in this play of a comedy of Pyramus and Thisbe that will never please. First, Pyramus must draw a sword to kill himself, which the ladies cannot abide. How answer you that?
I believe we must leave the killing out when all is done.
Will not the ladies be afraid of the lion?
Masters, to bring a lion among ladies is a most dreadful thing. Lion must speak, saying thus, Ladies, I would entreat you not to fear, not to tremble. If you think I come hither as a lion, it were pity of my life. No, I'm no such thing. I am a man, as any men are.
Well, then it shall be so. But there is two hard things. That is, to bring moonlight into the chamber. For Pyramus and Thisbe did meet by moonlight. One must come with a bush of thorns and a lantern and say that he comes to disfigure or to present the person of moonshine. Then there is another thing. That is, Pyramus and Thisbe must speak through a wall.
Yes, some man or other must present wall, and let him have some plaster or a loam or rough cast about him to signify a wall, or let him hold his fingers thus, and through the cranny shall Pyramus and Thisbe whisper.
Well, if that may be, then all is well. Come, sit down, every mother's son, and rehearse your parts. Pyramus, you may begin. Once you have spoken your speech, you may enter into that break, and so every man according to his cue.
What hempen homespuns have we swaggering here, so near the cradle of the fairy queen? What, a play toward? I'll be an auditor.
Speak, Pyramus. Thisbe, stand forth.
Odors, savors sweet, so hath thy breath, my dearest Thisbe dear. But hark, a voice. Stay thou but here a while, and by I will to thee appear.
A stranger Pyramus than played here.
Must I speak now?
Aye, marry must you, for you must understand that he but goes to see a noise that he heard, and is to come again.
O most radiant Pyramus, most lily white of hue, I'll meet thee, Pyramus, at Ninny's tomb.
9 is 2 men. Why, you must not speak that yet. That you answer to Pyramus. You speak all your part at once, cues and all. Pyramus, your cue is past. It is never tire.
Oh.
As truest horse, that which would never tire.
I were fairer, Thisbe, than I were all McThigh.
Oh, monstrous! Oh, strange! We are haunted! Pray masters! Fly masters! Help!
I see there, Navy. This is to make an ass of me, to frat me if they could. But I will not stir from this place. Do what they can. I'll walk up and down here and I will sing, and they shall hear that I'm not afraid. The ouzel cock so black a hue, with orange tawny bill, the throstle with his note so true, and the wren with little quill.
Oh, what angel wakes me?
The pharaoh sparrow of the lark, the plain-sung cuckoo gray, whose note full many men doth mark, and dares not to answer nay.
Oh, I pray thee, gentle mortal, sing again. Mine ear is such enamored of thy note, so is mine eye, thrall to thy shape, and thy fair virtue's force perforce doth move me. And the first few to say, to swear, I love thee.
Methinks, mistress, you should have a little reason for that, but to say the truth, that reason and love keep little company nowadays.
Thou art wise as thou art beautiful.
If I had enough wit to get out of this wood, then I have enough to get my own turn.
Out of this wood, do not desire to go. Thou shalt remain here, whether thou wilt or no. I am no spirit of no common rape. Summer still doth bend upon thy state. I do love thee. Therefore go with me. I'll give thee fairies to attend on thee. A peas blossom! Cobweb! Mustard seed.
Ready?
And I.
Di, where shall we go?
Huh? Okay. Be kind and generous to this young gentleman. Come. Wait upon him. Lead him to my bower, and I shall await him on my bed of flowers.
Ah, here comes my messenger. How now, mad spirits?
My mistress with a monster is in love. Knit her close and consecrated bower while she was in her dull and sleeping hour. Crew of patches, rude mechanicals who work for bread upon Athenian stalls were met together to rehearse a play intended for great Theseus's nuptial day. The shallowest thickskin of that barren sort who Pyramus presented in their sport. An ass's knoll I fixed upon his head, and on his Thisbe be unthread. I led them on in this distracted fear, and left sweet Pyramus translated there. When in that moment, so it came to pass, Titania waked, and straightway loved an ass.
Oh, yes. This falls out better than I can devise. But hast thou yet latched the Berkeley man's eyes with the love juice as I did bid thee do?
I took him sleeping. That is finished too. And the Athenian woman by his side, so that when he waked, of force she must be eyed.
Stand aside. This is the same Berkeley man.
This is the woman, but not this the man.
Oh, why rebuke him that loves you so?
Now I but chide, but I should do thee worse. For thou, I fear, has given me cause to curse. If thou hast slain Lysander in his sleep, being o'ershoes in blood, plunge in the deep and kill me too.
You spend your passion on a misprized mood. I'm not guilty of Lysander's blood, nor is he dead, for aught that I can tell.
I pray thee then, tell me that he is well.
Honor, if I could, what should I get therefore?
A privilege? Never see me more. And from thy hated presence part I so. See me no more, whether he be dead or no.
There is no following her in this fierce vein. Here therefore for a while I will remain.
What hast thou done? Thou hast mistaken quite, and laid the love juice on some true love sight. About the wood, go swifter than the wind, and Helena of Berkeley, look thee find. And by some illusion see thou bring her here. I'll charm his eyes against she do appear.
I go, look how I go, swifter than an arrow from the Tartar's bow.
Flower of this purple dye, hit with Cupid's archery, sink in apple of his eye. When his love he doth espy, let her shine as glorious lie as the Venus of the sky. When thou walkest, if she be by, beg of her for remedy.
Captain of our fairy band, Helena is here at hand, and the youth mistook by me, pleading for a lover's fee. Shall we their fond pageant see? Lord, what fools these mortals be!
Stand aside. The noise they make will cause Demetrius to awake.
Why should you think that I should woo and scorn?
You do advance your cunning more and more. These vows are Hermia's. Will you give her o'er?
I had no judgment when to her I swore.
Nor none in my mind, now you give her o'er.
Demetrius loves her, and he loves not you.
Oh, Helen, goddess, nymph, perfect divine, to what my love shall I compare thine eyne? When thou holdst thy hand to let me kiss, this princess a pure way, the seal of bliss.
Oh, spite! Oh, hell, I see you both are bent to set against me for your merriment. If you were civil and knew courtesy, you would not do me thus much injury. To vow and swear and super praise my parts when I know you hate me with your hearts. You both are rivals and love Hermia, and now both rivals to mock Helena.
You are unkind, Demetrius. Be not so, for you love Hermia, this you know I know. And here, with all goodwill, with all my heart, in Hermia's love yield you up my part, and yours of Helena to me bequeath, whom I do love and will do till my death.
Lysander, keep that Hermia, I will none. If e'er I loved her, all that love is gone. My heart to her but as guest-wise sojourned, And how to Helen's at home return, there to remain. Lest to thy peril thou abide it, dear. Look where thy love comes. Yonder is thy dear.
Lysander, why unkindly didst thou leave me so?
Why should she stay whom love doth press to go?
What love could press Lysander from my side?
Lysander's love, that would not let her bide. Fair Helena, who more enguiles the night than all yon fiery eyes and O's of light. Why seekest thou me? Could not this make thee know the hate I bear for thee made me leave thee so?
You speak not as you think. It cannot be true.
Oh, she is one of this confederacy. Now I see they have conjoined all three to fashion this false sport in spite of me. Injurious Hermia, most ungrateful maid, have you conspired? Have you with these contrived to bait me with this foul derision? The sisters' vows, the hours we have spent, all school days, friendships, childhood innocence. Our sex as well as I may chide you for it, but I alone do feel the injury.
I am amazed at your words. I scorn you not. It seems that you scorn me.
Have you not set Lysander as in scorn to follow me and praise my eyes and face? And sent your other love, Demetrius, to call me goddess, nymph, divine and rare, precious, celestial, to who he hates?
Stay, gentle Helena. Hear my excuse, my life, my love, my soul, fair Helena. I do love thee. I swear by that which I have to lose for thee, which is to prove him false that says I love thee not.
I say I love thee more than he can do.
If thou say so, withdraw and prove it too.
Quick, come.
Lysander, where to tends all of this?
Hang off, thou cat, thou burr. Vile thing, let loose, or I will shake thee from me like a serpent.
Why are you grown so rude? What change is this, sweet love?
Be certain, nothing truer, 'tis no jest, that I hate thee and love Helena.
What? Can you do me no greater harm than to hate? Hate me! Wherefore? Am I not Hermia? Are you not Lysander?
I, by my life, and never did desire to see thee more. Therefore, be out of hope, of question, of doubt.
Oh, me! You juggler, you canker blossom, you thief of love! What, have you come by night and stolen my love's heart from her?
Fine, I faith. You ungrateful maid. Fie, you counterfeit, you puppet, you.
Puppet? Why so? Hey, that way goes the game. Now I perceive that she hath made compare between our stature. She hath urged her height, and with her personage, her tall personage, her height, forsooth, she hath prevailed with him. And are you all grown so high in this esteem because I am so dwarfish and low? How low am I, thou painted maypole? Speak! How low am I? I am not yet so low but that my nails cannot reach unto thine eyes.
I pray you, though you mock me, gentlemen, let her not hurt me. You may think that since she is something lower than myself, that I can match her.
Be not afraid, she shall not harm thee, Helena.
No, sir, she shall not, though you take her place.
When she is angry, she is keen and shrewd. She was a vixen when we went to school, and though she be but little, she is fierce.
Little! Nothing but low and little. Why will you suffer her to flout me like this? Let me come to her.
Get you gone, you dwarf, you minimus of Knockgrass maid, you bead, you acorn.
You're too officious, in her behalf that scorns your services. Let her alone, speak not of Helena, take not her part, for if thou dost intend never so little show of love to her, then thou shalt obey it.
Now she holds me not. Now follow, if thou darest, to try who's right. Of thine or mine is most in Helena.
Follow? Nay, I shall go with thee cheek by jowl.
Your hands than mine are quicker for a fray. My legs are longer, though, to run away.
I am amazed and know not what to say.
This is thy negligence. Still thou mistakest, or else committest thy knaveries willfully?
Leave me, King of Shadows. I mistook. Did you not tell me I should know the man by the Berkeleyan garments he had on? And so far, blameless proves my enterprise.
Thou seest these lovers seek a place to fight. I therefore, Robin, overcast the night, and lead these testy rivals so astray as one not come within another's way, till o'er their brows death counterfeiting sleep, with laden legs and batty wings doth creep. Then crush this herb into Lysander's eye. Lysander, when they next wake, all this derision shall seem a dream and fruitless vision. Then back to Berkeley shall these lovers wend, with league whose date till death shall never end. Whiles I in this affair do thee employ, I'll to my queen and beg of her young boy, and then I will her charmed eye release from monstrous view, and all things shall be peace.
Up and down, up and down. I will lead them up and down. I am feared in field and town. Goblin, lead them up and down. Here comes one.
Where art thou, proud Demetrius? Speak thou now.
Here, villain, drawn and ready. Where art thou?
I will be with thee straight.
Follow me then to plainer ground.
Lysander, speak. In some bush, where dost thou hide thy head?
Art thou bragging to the stars, telling the bushes that thou lookest for wars? And wilt not come? Come, recreant, come, thou child.
Yea, art thou there?
Follow my voice, will try no manhood here.
He goes before me, and still he dares me on. I follow fast. I come where he calls, and then he's gone. I came fast, and faster he did fly. Villain is much lighter heeled than I. Am I unfallen in dark, uneven way? Here will rest me. Come, thou gentle day, and if thou once show me thy grey light, I'll find Demetrius and revenge this spite.
Coward, why comest thou not?
Where art thou now?
Come hither. I am here.
Nay, then thou mockest me. And thou shalt buy this deer to measure out my length on this cold bed. By day's approach, look to be visited.
O weary night, O long and tedious night, abate thy hours. Shine comforts from the east and sleep, that sometimes shuts up sorrow's eye. Steal me a while from mine own company. Never so weary, never so in woe, bedabbled with dew and torn with briars, I can no further crawl, no further go. My legs can keep no pace with my desires. Here I will rest me till break of day. Heaven shield Lysander if they should mean a fray.
On the ground, sleep sound, I'll apply to your eye, gentle lover, remedy.
When thou wakest, thou takest true delight in the sight of thy former lady's eye, and the country proverb known, that every man shall take his own. Jack shall have Jill, naught shall go ill. The man shall have his mare again, and all shall be well.
Come, sit thee down upon this flowery bed, while I thy amiable cheeks do coy, and stick musk roses in thy sleek and smooth head, and kiss thy fair large ears, my gentle joy.
I'd rather have a handful or two of dried peas. But I pray thee, don't let your people stir me. I have an exposition of sleep come upon me.
Sleep thou, and I will wind thee in my arms. Fairies, be gone! Shoot! Be always away.
Welcome, good Robin. Seest thou this sweet sight? Her dotage now I do begin to pity, for meeting of her late behind the wood, when I had at my pleasure taunted her, and she in mild terms begged my patience. I then did ask of her changeling child, which straight she gave to me, and her fairy sent to bear him to my bower in fairyland. And now I have the boy, I will undo this hateful imperfection of her eyes. And gentle Puck, take this transformed scalp from off the head of this Berkeley swain, that he, awaking when the other do, may all to Berkeley back again repair, and think no more of this night's accidents than as the fierce vexation of a dream. But first I will release the fairy queen.
My Oberon. Oh, what visions have I seen? Methought I was enamored by an ass.
There lies your love.
Things to come to pass. Oh, how my eyes loathe this visage now.
Come, my queen. Now thou and I are new in amity, and will tomorrow midnight solemnly dance in Duke Theseus' house triumphantly, and bless it all to fair prosperity. There shall the pairs of faithful lovers be, wedded with Theseus all in jollity. But sir, what nymphs are these?
My lord, this is my daughter here asleep. And this Lysander, and this Demetrius, and this Helena, old Nectar's Helena. I wonder if them being here together.
No doubt they rose up early to observe the rite of May, and hearing our intent came here in grace of our solemnities. But speak, Aegeus, is this not the day that Hermia should give the answer of her choice?
It is, my lord.
Go, bid the huntsmen wake them with their horns. Good morrow, friends. Saint Valentine is past. Begin these wood birds but to couple now? I know you two are rival enemies. How comes this gentle conquer in the world that hatred is so far from jealousy? To sleep by hatred and fear no enmity.
Lord, I shall reply amazedly, half sleep, half waking. But as yet, I swear I cannot truly say how I came here. I came with Hermia hither. Our intent was to be gone of Berkeley, where we might, without the peril of Berkeley in law.
Enough, my lord. I beg on the law upon his head. They would have stolen away, they would Demetrius, thereby defend you and me, you of your wife and me of my consent that should be your wife.
My lord, fair Helen told me of their stealth, of this their purpose hither to this wood, and I in fury followed them, and Helena in fancy following me. But my good lord, I know not by what power, but by some power it is. My feelings to Hermia melted as the snow, and the only object in pleasure of mine eye is Helena. To her, my lord, was I betrothed ere I saw Hermia. And like a sickness did I loathe this food. But in my health, come to my natural taste, now I do wish it, love it, long for it, and will forevermore be true to it.
Fair lovers, you are fortunately met. Aegeus, I will overbear your will, for in the temple by and by with us these couples shall eternally be knit. Away with us to Athens, 3 and 3 will hold a feast in great solemnity. Come, Aegeus. Oh.
These things seem small and undistinguishable, like far-off mountains turned into clouds.
Methinks I see things with parted eye, when everything seems double.
And so methinks. And I have Demetrius like a jewel, mine own and not mine own.
Are you sure that we are awake? It seems to me that yet we sleep, we dream. Do not you think the Duke was here and bid us follow him?
Yea, and my father.
And Hippolyta.
Did bid us follow to the temple.
Why then, we are awake. Let's follow him, and by the way, let us recount our dreams.
Hey, yo, Peter Quince, Flute the Bellow Menzer, Starveling, God's my life. Stolen Hanson left me asleep. I had a most rare vision, had a dream past the wit of man to say what it was. Man is but an ass. If he got about to expound this dream, me thought I was, there's no man that can tell what. Me thought I had I will go to Peter Quinton to write a ballad about this dream. It'll be called Bottom's Dream. Yeah, because it has no bottom.
To love, yes? Come now, what masks, what dances shall we have? What revels are in hand? Is there no play to ease the anguish of a torturing hour? Call, Philostrate.
Here, mighty Theseus, a play there is, my lord, some 10 words long, which is as brief as I have ever known a play, but by 10 words, my noble lord, it is too long, which makes it tedious. For in all the play, there is not one word apt, one player fitted. And tragically, my noble lord, it is. For Pyramus therein doth kill himself, which when I saw rehearsed, I must confess, made mine eyes water. But more merry tears, the passion of that laughter never shed.
And we will hear it.
No, my noble lord, it is not for you. I have heard it over, and it is nothing in the world, unless you can find sport in their intents, extremely stretched, and coned with cruel pain to do you service.
I will hear that play.
So please your grace, the prologue is addressed.
Gentles, perchance you wonder at this show, but wonder on, let truth make all things plain. This man is Pyramus, if you would know. This beauteous lady Thisbe is certain. This man, with lime and rough cast, doth present Wall, that vile wall which did these lovers sunder. And through Wall's chink, poor souls, they are content to whisper, at the which let no man wonder. This man, with lantern, dog, and bush of thorn, presenteth moonshine. For, as you would know, by moonshine did the lovers think no scorn to meet at Ninus' tomb there to woo. This grisly beast, which Lion hight by name, the trusty Thisbe coming first by night, did scare away, or rather did affright.
Ah!
And as she fled, her mantle she did fall, which Lion, vile with bloody mouth, did stain. Whereat with bloody, blameful blade, Pyramus, who just had come, he bravely broached his broiling, bloody breast. And Thisbe, tarrying in mulberry shade, his dagger drew and died. For all the rest, let lion, moonshine, and lovers twain at large discourse, while here they still remain. In this same interlude, it doth befall that I once not by name present a wall, and such a wall as I would have you think, in it craned a hole or kink, and in which lovers as Pyramus and Thisbe did often whisper very secretly, this loam, this rough cast, this stone doth slow, that I am the same wall, if truth is so, and in this cranny, right and sinister, through which fearful lovers are to whisper.
Oh, grim night, Oh, night with you so black. Oh, night, whichever art when day is not. Oh, night, alack, alack, alack. I fear my Thisbe's promises forgot. And thou, O wall, O sweet, O lovely wall that stands between my father's land and mine, thou wall, O sweet, O lovely wall, show me thy chink to blink through with my nine. Thanks, courteous wall. Jove shield thee well for this. But what I see, no Thisbe do I see, a wicked wall, through whom I see this, cursed by the stones that are deceiving me.
The wall methinks, being sensible, should curse again.
Nah. In truth, sir, he should not. Deceiving me is Thisbe's cue. She is to enter now, and I am to spy her through that wall. You'll see, it will fall pat as I told you. Yonder she comes.
O wall, full often hast thou heard my moans, for parting my fair Pyramus and me. My cherry lips have often kissed thy stones with lime and hair knit up in thee.
I see a voice, oh, I see a voice. Now I will to the chink to spine, and I can hear my Thisbe. Thisbe?
My love, thou art my love, I think.
Think without what wilt. I am the lover's grace, and like Lamander, and I trust thee.
And I like Helen till the fates me kill.
Not shaftless to Procris was so true.
As shaftless to Procris, I to you.
Oh, kiss me through this hole of this vile wall. Oh.
I kiss the wall's hole, not your lips at all.
Wilt that at ninnies to meet me straight away?
Tide life, tide death, I come without delay.
Thus have I wall my part discharged, and being done, wall away doth go.
Now, is the wall down between the two neighbors?
No remedy, my lord, when walls are so willful to hear without warning.
This is the silliest stuff I have ever heard.
The best in this kind are but shadows, and the worst are no worse, if imagination amend them.
It must be your imagination then, and not theirs.
If we imagine no worse of them than they of themselves, they may pass for excellent men. Oh, here come two noble beasts, a man and a lion.
You ladies whose gentle hearts do fear, the smallest monstrous mouse that creeps on floor, may now perchance both quake and tremble here, when lion rough and wildest rage doth roar. Then know that I, who Snug the joiner am, a lion fell, nor else no lion's dam. For if I were as lion to come and strife into this place, 'twere pity on my life.
This lanthorn doth the horned moon present. This lanthorn doth the horned moon present. Myself, the man, is the moon, do seem to be. All that I have to say is to tell you that this lanthorn is the moon. I am the man, and the moon this thorn bush, my thorn bush, and this dog, my dog.
Why? All these should be in the lanthorn, for all these are in the moon. But silence! Here comes Thisbe.
This is Old Ninny's tomb. Where is my love?
Roar!
Ah!
Well, Lord Lion.
Oh, run, Thisbe.
Well shown, moon. Truly, the moon shines with a good grace.
And then came Pyramus.
Vanished.
Sweet moon, I thank thee for thy sunny beams. I thank thee, moon, for the shining now so bright. For by thy gracious golden glimmering gleams, for I trust to take the truest Thisbe sight. But stay, oh spite! But mark, poor knight, what dreadful doll is here! Oh, eyes do you see? Oh, dainty duck, oh dear! Thy mantle good, what stained with blood! Approach, ye furies fell! Oh, fates, come, cut thread and thrum, quail crush, conclude and quell!
This passion and the death of a dear friend would go near to make a man look sad.
Beshrew my heart, but I pity the man.
Ah, wherefore nature did thus a lion's frame, since the lion hath here deflowered my dear, which is which is the fairest dame that ever lived, that loved, that looked with cheer. Come tears, come found, outsoared the pap of Pyramus, I thy left, where here doth pop, thus die. Thus. Now I am dead, now I am fled, my soul is in the sky, tongue those thy light, moon, take thy flight, now die, 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 die.
No die, but an ace for him, for he is but one.
Less than an ace, man, for he is dead. He is nothing.
With the help of a surgeon, he might yet recover and yet prove an ass.
How chance moonshine is gone before Thisbe comes back and finds her lover?
Find him by starlight. Here she comes, and her passion ends the play.
You think she should not use a long one for such a Pyramus? I hope she will be brief.
A moat will turn the balance, which Pyramus, which Thisbe is the better. He for a man, God warrant us, she for a woman, God bless us.
She hath spied him already with those sweet eyes.
And thus she means, videlicet.
Asleep, my love.
Oh, jeez.
What dead, my dove? O Pyramus, arise. Speak, speak. Quite dumb, dead, dead. A tomb must cover thy sweet eyes. These lily lips, this cherry nose, These yellow cowslip cheeks are gone, are gone. Lovers make moan. His eyes were as green as leeks. This is so stupid. Oh, sisters three, come to me with hands as pale as milk. Lay them in gore, since you have shore with shears his thread of silk. Tongue, not a word. Come, trusty sword. Come, blade, my breast imbue. And farewell, friends. Thus this ends. Adieu, adieu, adieu.
Sunshine and Lion are left to bury the dead.
Hey, and Wall too.
Wait, no. I assure you, the wall is down that parted their fathers. Will it please you to see the epilogue or to hear a burgle mass dance between the two of our company?
No. No epilogue, I pray you, for such a play. It needs no excuse. Never excuse. For when the players are all dead, there need none to be blamed. Ah, the iron tongue of midnight hath told 12. Lovers to bed, 'tis almost fairy time.
If we shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here, while these visions did appear, and this weak and idle theme, no more yielding than a dream. Gentles, do not reprehend. If you pardon, we will mend. And as I am an honest puck, if we have unearned luck, now go to scape the serpent's tongue, and we will make amends ere long. Or else thy puck a liar call, so good night unto you all. Give me your hands, if we be friends, and Robin shall restore amends.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, cast. Thank you, crew. That was so delightful. Thank you, audience, for joining us. So I'm going to give the actors a little break here to take their time to get out of costume if they'd like. So actors, why don't you go ahead and turn off your cameras and turn them back on when you're ready to join us. And audience, I'm going to invite you all to join us for a Q&A. So what I will do is if you want to raise your virtual hand, I will give you the ability to talk, so you can ask your question live to the cast and crew, or if you have any questions about the dance performance that we saw initially, we are open to those questions as well. And I will also, I'm about to open the chat so that audience can enter any questions that you have in the chat as well if you don't feel like voicing your questions. So I'm going to go ahead and put us in gallery view. Oh, we are in gallery view. Oh, sorry. Still learning here. Okay, so we are in gallery view, and I am going to go ahead and bring our director back, Miss Anya Hilpert. I'm going to bring her back into the Zoom room. And looks like we have a comment from Miss Gigi Buddy. Thank you, Gigi, for joining us. Gigi, thank you so much. As you know very well, Zoom Theater is a wacky and wild world, so thank you for being here with us tonight. Thank you so much. I am seeing some questions coming in from some folks in the audience. Robert Callan Jr. asked, how did you switch screens so easily? Okay, I'm gonna actually pose that question to one of our crew members. Crew members, I would love it if you would turn your cameras on so everyone knows who is making the magic behind the curtain. Liam, I'm going to go to you on that question. Liam, if you want to introduce yourself and answer Robert's question about how we changed screens so easily.
Well, Zoom has a function called spotlighting, as you might know. And so it's just a matter of using the function of adding and replacing at most parts and also removing, which if you do that in sequence with multiple people, you can get a really smooth transition.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much, Liam. And it looks like we have a question from Miss Sharon Hilpert. So Miss Sharon Hilpert, I'm gonna allow you the ability to talk right now and you can ask your question live. So if you want to unmute yourself, Sharon, you can ask your question live. There we go.
Hello, everyone. Fantastic job. I enjoyed every bit of it. Thank you so much, because I know how hard you worked. How on earth did you figure out how to react to each other emotionally, being that you're all in different locations?
Ooh, would anyone in particular like to answer that question? Any cast members? Any cast members want to jump on that one? Acting, how you portray. Fiona, you did a fantastic job of that. So I'm going to turn to you, Fiona, on this question. How did you portray your emotions even though none of your counterparts were in the room with you?
Which are we specifically talking about? Like the one of me with AP or John Luke?
All of them.
Okay.
All of
Well, a lot of kind of diving into who I am, who I'm playing, and especially I'm weird. I kind of imagine that they were like right there, and I just kind of was like, oh, they're actually talking to me. Because it is weird on Zoom. I had to adapt to it because it would feel so fake and unreal if I were just like, yeah, totally. Instead of like kind of getting in the groove and kind of feeling their vibe. Because if I don't do that, it's gonna suck. So I did that. I had to adapt. And I don't know, this is like my third play on Zoom, and it's quite strange that it's like I'm used to this now, but like it's whatever. I think just in general, just if I could give advice, just adapt, because like we know that they're not in the room with us. So you kind of have to kind of get to know them, if that makes any sense, and then kind of know kind of what they're like and like imagine, if that makes any sense. So
Yeah.
That's how
I think it's been pretty fascinating because this has been, Zoom is a new performance platform, but it is a good lesson in screen acting, actually, because a lot of times when you're acting for film, you are acting to nothing. And so I think these students are getting a good lesson in that, which is wonderful. Thank you for your question, Sharon, and as always, thank you for your wonderful daughter. Thank you so much. It looks like Linda has a question. So Linda, I'm going to allow you the ability to talk and ask your question, if you want to unmute.
First of all, I would like to say that I'm very grateful for this platform, because now this is the second play we've been able to watch with our granddaughter Nairi, which we would never have been able to see otherwise. And Nairi, I just want to say you rocked it, and I loved your singing. And you go, girl.
Thank you so much, Linda. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you so much. And it looks like we've got some questions in the chat here. From Sophia, I was wondering who choreographed the beautiful fairy dance. Ella, do you want to answer that question?
Sure. Well, I choreographed it. So, yeah.
So there we go. So it was a big collaboration. Anya is a huge proponent of getting as many people involved in the artistic process as possible, so she asked Ella to take on the choreography, and she did a really wonderful job. I have a question here from Sarah, which is, how long did it take to rehearse / prepare? Anya, do you want to answer that question?
Sure. So just due to the way that Margaret had set up the student arts workshop, we had a month to rehearse. So we ended up rehearsing for around a month after school, Tuesday through Friday. And then sometimes we would stay later or add some days, but overall, yeah, it was a very quick process. I definitely learned a lot from trying to do a Shakespeare play in a month, but it was wonderful, and my cast was amazing and really worked hard to make sure that everyone, everything came together in the end. So I'm really proud of them. They deserve a lot of the credit for just showing up and working hard.
Yeah, it was pretty fast and furious, and for many of them, it was their first time acting in a Shakespeare play, which was pretty wild. I wanted to put a question out to our initial performance, which was our dance and visual arts performance. I just wanted to ask Sophia if she could explain to the audience what her inspiration behind the piece was.
So personally, that song has always given me like a specific vibe or mood that I've always wanted to put out there. I gave my visual artists a dance video to watch and a music video to watch, and we took what we had, and some of the symbols in the music video were a yin yang or an orchid, some of the things that you saw behind me in the painting. So we took those symbols and put out a little bit of our personality and our creativity into it. We added like a Chinese style painted tree on the very right, I believe it was, in the pink. And for the dance, the first half of the choreography was from the original, and then the second half I choreographed completely. I think it was a nice twist to put a little bit of myself into the piece, but stay true to the original as well.
Yeah, it was so cool to see it all come to life. And Connie and Fiona, I wanted to ask you both, I know this is the first time that you've worked on such a large scale in terms of painting. So if either of you want to respond to like what that experience was like for you. Do you want to speak to that? Fiona, do you want to start?
Yeah, so basically, like previously, I've like worked on paintings that you could pretty much fit on your table, but in this painting was very big, and sometimes it was hard to see the whole picture. But I think overall, like it allowed. I think it was a good backdrop for Sophia's video.
Yeah, it was really beautiful. How about you, Connie? How was the experience for you, the painting experience?
This was definitely a very new experience, but I had like the help from obviously like Fiona, and Sophia gave her input as well, and Mr. Miller and Miss He also helped with like getting the paints and all the right materials we needed. And Ms. McIntyre and Miss Martin also did help and give input on how to complete such a big piece.
Yeah, it took up the entire backstage area. It was really cool to watch the process of it all come together. And once again, it was a real time crunch, but it was really beautiful to see it all come together and to see the collaboration. Looks like we have a few more questions in the chat. This is from Melissa. Did the cast and crew ever rehearse or meet in person, or was everything done virtually? Let's see here. Grace, do you want to take that question?
Sure. So we all go to the same school, so we have a lot of us have met each other, but not everyone. So not all of us were comfortable going in person all the time. So some of us have met each other either this year or last year. A lot of us have not, but we did a couple
I think the first day we all went around, we said our names, a few things about us, and then as we were starting tech rehearsals, we also sort of went around and said our names among like tech and the cast. And so that was really fun. We just like doing like little games and stuff, but pretty much everything except that was done pretty separately, I think. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. So yeah, it was definitely all done on Zoom to ensure that everyone stayed safe as we are spanning such a broad age range. We couldn't keep them in their academic pods, so that was the impetus behind doing it all on Zoom. We have a question from Mr. Rainier. Rainier, I'm going to give you the ability to talk so you can ask this question live because we're always so excited when you're here and we just want to hear your voice. So if you wouldn't mind unmuting yourself and asking your question live, that'd be great.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I initially didn't want to speak, but okay, that's fine. I would just say good job, everyone. I really miss you guys. And I just have one question. So I know personally I have some trouble with Shakespeare and, I have, a tough time trying to understand it. Do you think, is it easier or more difficult to like perform or direct Shakespeare on the stage or like in Zoom?
Does anyone in particular want to take that question? Danny, do you want to take that question? I see a side hand.
I'm not sure if I'm really fit to answer that question, but I've never performed Shakespeare on stage. This is my first Shakespeare play, but I have to say that doing this on Zoom seems a lot easier than performing it on stage because on stage there's like a lot of elements, I guess. There's like there's an audience watching you all the time, and while here it's like still an audience watching you, you don't have that visual. And like when you're on stage, you see everyone in the audience, maybe not their faces, but you can see that they're there. And so, wait, I'm not actually answering the question. Basically, I find it to be, I think I'm failing at answering this question. I think it's easier because you kind of can like look off to the side a little bit like during rehearsal, like when you're learning it and like continue like memorizing it or whatever. But when you're on the stage, I'd say it's probably a little bit more difficult because you I'm failing at answering this question. Can we pass it to someone else?
Totally, Danny. I think you are answering it. I see Xavier's hand popped up. Xavier.
Personally, as someone who's had zero experience with Shakespeare, like even this year in English class, we just started like reading Macbeth and stuff. So I've had no knowledge of Shakespeare at all, and even that I've had almost no experience as an actor either. And I've also done like no on-stage performances, so it was very difficult for me to understand like what Shakespeare was saying, like what he means in his work and how to express that, because for me personally at least, it took a ton of analysis to just understand what he was essentially saying, and memorization was even harder. So
Yeah. Raise your hand if this was the first Shakespeare play you've ever been in. Amazing. So cool. So cool. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm going to go to Miss Loy's question, which is, how difficult was it learning your lines? In a Shakespeare play? And was it harder to express your character's emotions speaking in verse? Does anyone want to take that? Let's go to Aza.
Well, I've been performing Shakespeare for like a year now, and it does not get any less awkward over time, or it hasn't for me. Shakespeare is very awkward just because the language is very dated, and it's kind of hard to apply it to yourself and to get into character when you don't fully understand what's going on, or even when you do understand, when you can't really connect to the language on the same level that you would for like a regular modern play. So I would say the lines are definitely easier for me because they rhyme, and that makes it a lot more simple, just because you remember like, okay, my next line rhymes with the last one. But for actually doing character work and connecting and finding emotion and that type of stuff, it is harder just because the language makes it difficult.
Great, thank you so much, Aza. And we've got 2 more questions here, and I'm going to go to Anya on this. This is from the Wolf family. Anya, the question is, how did you assemble costumes?
Yes, so we did not have a budget for this show, and I knew I wanted to set it in the 60s, which did require some costumes that weren't exactly in everyone's closet. So one day I've been virtually learning, but I went into school, and Miss Margaret was lovely enough to let me look at the costume shop. So I spent an evening down in a basement alone for a couple hours, kind of rummaging through everything, finding what I thought would be the best for each character. And from there, I also asked these lovely people to look for some things. So a lot of them were basic pieces, like jackets and basic shirts were they already owned. But like, for example, with Oberon's costume, we had to find that in the basement. So that's kind of how the costumes all came together. And I was really happy. Everybody was so helpful and made sure that everybody had something on. So that's all that mattered to me.
Yeah, Anya had a very clear vision from the beginning, which was really helpful. And our final question that we have here is from Taylor. What were some of the challenges of doing a production over Zoom? Does anyone want to respond to that question in particular? Sarah.
Well, Zoom theater and live theater are very different. Zoom theater, you kind of have less opportunities to work off each other, because in live theater, you're constantly seeing their expressions, you're constantly seeing the way they're moving. Zoom theater, you only see their upper body. And at that, you see their face. So you have to rely a lot on facial expressions, and you also have to sort of rely a lot on knowing, like Fiona said earlier, what each character would do in the situation. Like, for example, I have a lot of scenes with Oberon. So I have to kind of know that Oberon is kind of cocky. So it's just easiest for Puck to mock him. So basically, because Puck is just there to like cause mischief. So he would obviously just be mocking Oberon or he's being Puck. And it's definitely also a challenge to do this in such a short span of time, in addition to over Zoom, because a month in order to block and memorize and do it all with Shakespeare, that's just kind of challenges built on top of each other. But in the end, it was kind of all about just knowing what you were going to do. And Margaret and Anya were very helpful, where they could just be like, okay, this is what this line means. Now you can understand it better.
Thank you so much, Sarah, and thank you, Taylor, for your question. We have one more question in the chat, which is, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. It's Elena, I believe. What was it like to direct/act with such a large grade range? Does anyone want to answer that question, or age range? Ainsley.
So I'm the youngest out of everyone here. I'm 12 when some of the other people are like in high school and in like 7th grade. So I have never worked with high schoolers before. And I've worked with like 7th graders, but never high schoolers. And we have such a great cast that it just felt like that we were all got so close over the short span of time, and it wasn't difficult at all. And it was so fun to work with everyone, and I just really enjoyed, and it wasn't hard to work with different age, but yeah.
We don't bite.
That's so lovely. Thank you, Ainsley, for sharing. I think that's one of the beauties of our school, is that it is a K-12 school, and watching kids across such broad age ranges work together and learn from one another and make friendships is really one of the greatest joys of my life. So thank you all so much for joining us. I'm gonna ask our cast and crew to go ahead and turn off their cameras, but stick around so we can make announcements about tomorrow. I'm gonna ask the audience to please exit the house, and thank you again so much, and we hope you have a nice evening. If you ever have any questions, feel free to email me, margaret.he@sacredsf.org. Good night. Okay, kiddos, our audience